Hello, everybody. This is Move Easy Yoga online with Via, and it is August 6th. We're going to start in the ordinary fashion. I'm going to highlight Kathy, cancel me and highlight Kathy.
I'm here.
Right there, she is. And we're just going to start by coming into the room quietly. And I'm going to go shut my door while you guys just breathe and start to notice your breath in the room and why you came and where you are. Feel the support of the earth as represented by the floor at your back. And go ahead and put your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, or I found that I like better just to stack my hands, so you can do either one of those things. For vagus nerve reset, just everything is still except for the eyeballs, moving your eyeballs to the right and waiting for an involuntary yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. Return to center and then shift your eyeballs to the left. Wait for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. 2 more sets without my cueing them. Right and then left, right and then left. And then keep your hands where they are and press the back of the skull, the occipital ridge, into your hands and pause. And then release. And 4 more times. Bring your hands beside your hips, palms up, and practice a breath of your choice. I'm going to cue Viloma breathing because it's my favorite right now, but you could do ribcage breathing or extended exhale breathing. Viloma breathing is dividing your inhale into 3 parts. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, Inhale, pause. By the time you finished your inhale, you should have filled your lungs entirely. And then exhale. And finish up and grab a thin brick. We're going to do hypopressive bridges. So your feet are heels on the floor, they're dorsiflex, toes toward the ceiling, a brick between your thighs. That's new, but it's supposed to help. I hear my chiropractor says it's, no, I think it was Dr. Fishman who said this is one of the few ways you can actually invite the gel that's eked out of a disc to create a herniated disc, invite the gel to go back into the space where it belongs. Bridge with a brick, pressing your thighs together a little bit. And remember, we're going to take 3 breaths, and then on the exhale, then hold the breath. And as I count to 10, you're going to lift your hips and take your arms overhead. So inhale, 3 breaths, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, go ahead and lift your hips and your arms. 3, 4, 5, press your brick. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale and bring your hips down and exhale and your arms come down. I don't know whether, how's the brick? Is that okay to have the press on the brick? Okay. Because we might as well do, I like to do poses that do have multiple impact. So this one now adds the impact of if you have a disc that's herniated, it might invite the disc, the gel, to reverse itself and go back where it belongs. One more time. 3 breaths, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. Hold the breath out, lift your hips, squeeze the brick, arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, come on down, exhale, all the way down. Let's go ahead and do some pelvic reset, some pelvic resets. This is also bent knees. The feet are on the floor though, or close to the buttocks, with a brick between the knees. And all you're going to do, your torso stays still, but your knees go side to side. And let's do it 6 pairs. So left, right, or right, left, 6 times. You can tell I'm worried about time when I do things 6 instead of 10. And then the next thing you're going to do is make that brick wider and do the same thing. side to side, 6 times. And then grab your strap and put it around your thighs. And same thing. So the heels are as close to the buttocks as you can get them. And just side to side, six pairs. We're going to do some other pelvis, another pelvis reset thing with the balls later. And now when you're finished, go ahead and take your strap off. And we're going to do what's called, well, it has a Sanskrit name, but this is one of Dr. Fishman's poses. This is actually a great pose for core work and probably for osteoporosis in the spine, not in the spine, in the femur or the lumbar. So the first thing you're going to do, Kathy, is shift your buttocks to the right. Lift your knees up into parallel, and then drop the knees to the left as far as you can.
Shoulders on the floor.
Shoulders on the floor. And we're going to stay here for, I'm sorry, I didn't start timing this one, so maybe I'll say
Forever.
forever. Right. I'm gonna say stay here for 5 more seconds. Stop. Okay, and then come back to center, and you're going to switch to the other side. So first the hips shift to leave room for the movement of the knees, right? Then bring your knees up to tabletop first. Now drop them to the right. Keep your shoulders on the floor. This is a spine twist. At L1 and T12. No, T1 and L5. I'm not sure, but where T1, where the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine meet. Come back up. We'll do it again one more time. This is this can get harder because you can actually use straight legs with it. But remember, the trick is to shift your buttocks to one side and then drop your knees to the other side. This is also core work. You should be feeling the core here.
Yeah.
And especially when you come back up, come back using your core. Keep breathing. You have 5 more seconds. And then switch to the other side. Come back to center, shift your buttocks to the opposite left, and then bring the knees up and drop them to the right. And breathe. And come on back. Bring your right leg straight up toward the ceiling. Put your hands behind the thigh. We're going to do a resistance stretch for the hamstrings. So what you're going to do, this is Kihara resistance. you're going to move the leg, the thigh back and forth with resistance. The hands pull and win in one direction, but the thigh is resisting, and then the thigh moves back away from the body, away from the torso and the face, and the hands resist. So back and forth you go about 6 times. Always resisting, always moving. Hopefully you'll feel some of this, some of the stretch. This stretches and strengthens the medial hams, the central hamstrings. In anticipation of what we're going to do next, actually. And then when you've done 6, switch to the other side.
I didn't count.
Keep your hips and your pelvis on the floor. Remember, you're resisting. So as you come back, the hands are resisting as the thigh moves away from the torso. And now grab your strap. We're going to do leg stretch 1 with a strap, holding for 30 seconds. So try not to round your back when, especially if you think you might have osteoporosis or penia. Because one of the things we're trying to do is build, in these poses, is build new bone density and also avoid rounding the back to create compression fractures. So here you are, leg stretch number 1, strap around the pad of the toes, the toe pads, and then we're going to start. And just kind of tugging on your leg, but keeping your hip down and breathing. And you can actually crawl your arms up and straighten the arms. And then pull on the straps. And before we go to the other side, we'll do leg stretch number 2, soup to 2. It's actually. So put both straps in one hand and drop your leg out to the right. Your other leg should be straight out unless that's difficult. And then it does the leg that's going out to the side doesn't have to go to the floor. Really, you're trying to pull it away from. It's a movement in the hip socket. Sorry, I forgot to time, so this is going to be an extra 10 seconds, I think. But try to keep the other hip on the ground, please. So that's going to make, Kathy's going to have to bring her leg up a little bit to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because both hips are even on the ground, shoulders too. We're holding for 30 seconds because this is one of Dr. Fishman's osteoporosis moves. Go ahead and switch to the other side, left side, leg stretch 1. The leg is up at the ceiling. Your arms are straight. They're pulling the leg towards the chest or the nose. And breathing and waiting. And now both straps are on one hand, and you're going to open up the leg out to the side and try to keep the pelvis even on the floor. May not go all the way down.
No.
Your leg may not be all the way straight. Or maybe it will be. Come on back. You know, this is that same movement that Dr. Fishman said will cure insomnia. Do you remember the leg stretch number 1 with the Loma breath? Anyway, these poses, well, all of the poses, each of the poses we do has a lot of different benefits. We're going to go up to a chair, seated with a therapy ball, small therapy ball. I think small. You're going to sit on the chair and put the therapy ball under your right glute. Okay, that's good. If you ever want a recommendation for some sort of a video production manager, Kathy, just let me know. Maybe that's your new career.
Yeah. So right glute, you said?
Right glute. Now, you're going to be moving your right foot, so you won't want to have it on a brick, I don't think. Maybe your left foot will be on a brick. I don't know. So if you either have legs that are too tall, or chair legs that are too tall, or human legs that are too short, you're not going to be able to reach the floor. So we have to adapt for Kathy. Go ahead and just take your leg and wiggle it out. Maybe bend it out towards the outside. The bent knee goes to the outside of the chair. Yep, or to the side.
Trying to keep it in there.
Yeah, you got to keep it in there. So this is free form in a way, you guys. So you can't probably go wrong. If it hurts a lot, then you'll have to move. You need to move the ball. So go ahead and move your leg, though, Kathy. So move your knee to the outside and to the Trying to get a little bit of glute release, basically here. And then go ahead and bring your right knee up toward the chest, and then cross over, figure 4. And see if you can find a little bit more activity. Here. And you can drop your knee if you dare, drop your knee. Whoops, that's the ball. You can drop your knee out to the side. Press it down. Lean forward, flat back, of course. Just wiggle around. All you're trying to do is fiber both directions. Every muscle you can cross fiber, it has fibers going in a particular direction, and you can cross fiber it with the ball, or you can strip along the fiber. And you don't have to know which one you're doing, actually. You just know that when you go in one direction, you're going to be either stripping or cross fibering. When you go in the other, you're going to be doing the other. Switch sides and put your ball under the glute. P.S. If you're ever flying, you can take your ball, you can take both balls and put them underneath your buttocks on the plane and get a little bit of myofascial release, which actually releases tension. It also increases proprioception, which is our ability to perceive where we are, where our bodies are. It's a feature of, it's one of the things that helps us maintain our balance. And we lose proprioception as we age, just so you know. So you can move your leg if you want, Kathy. Move that left leg out and even drag it along the floor. Put your, yeah, like that, like that. Use your imagination, you guys, here. Don't do anything that's too painful, but otherwise use the imagination. Do that for a while and then bring your knee towards your chest, cross your leg over, figure 4. And then try to do some stripping and cross fibering right here. And you can lean forward, you can press your leg forward. If you lean forward, please do so with a flat back hip hinge. Breathe. And when you're finished, we're going to do something else so listen carefully. You're going to place the ball to the right of the tailbone on the edge of the pelvis. So it's not in the area between your two pelvis. It's not in the pubic area. It's just to the inner edge of the pelvis and not on the tailbone, just a little bit in front of the tailbone. So what happens is sometimes the pelvis gets really tight. And this is one of the muscles, we're releasing some of the teeny muscles that contribute to that, to tightness in the pelvis. And just stay here and breathe. You don't have to, if you want to do something, do, but there's not much room to move here, really. If you stay where I'm telling you to stay, there's not much room to go anyplace. So you have to just let the ball do its magic. And then switch to the other side. Now remember, the ball is somewhere on the outside edge of the pelvis, of the inside of the pelvis. It's not on your tailbone.
Oh.
Sit tall and breathe. And move it if there may be a place that speaks to you, and you can move there. Breathe, sit tall. Actually, this is going to help you sit tall. And then go ahead and remove your ball. And sit for a minute and see if you can notice any difference in the pelvis or the glutes from the work we just did. And before we leave the chair, we're going to do a chest opener on the chair. Remember we did a chest opener on the wall? We still may do that, but this is another way to start to open. I'm going to call these chest openers, although they're also upper back strengtheners. So I think you're going to need to sit forward on the chair a little bit, halfway forward. And Kathy has the back of her chair to work with, and so do I, and some of you might not, so you might have to hold on to the seat of the chair. come up farther because you're going to put your hands on the back of the chair at the corner. Yes, here. And then from here, with your arms holding on to the chair, you're going to open your chest. Forward, chest forward, arms forward too. So the straight arms and the chest open up the upper back and the chest. Can you sit closer to the edge of the seat, Kathy? Okay, now that's going to give you more room to move to work. So this is an upper back chest opener. Posture. It's great for posture, and it's great for bone building along the spine. And we're going to stay here for 30 more seconds because I was negligent about the other. I guess maybe I should have had you come out of it and then come back. But here you are, trying to open the chest. The arms are holding on to something at the back of your chair. And really, basically, what you're doing is lifting the chest up. And the arms help you do that. Release, wiggle if you want. And then we're going to do it again. I hope people are finding a chair that works. And remember, you're going to be sitting in the middle or the front of the chair so that you have enough room to open your chest with your arms holding onto the back of the chair. Open your chest. You shouldn't feel this in the lower back. You should feel it in the upper back and the chest. Breathe. This is an easy thing to do while you're doing something else. This is a nice break to take if you're working on your computer. Come on back. Come on back. And we're going to go to the floor. So wiggle your chest or wiggle your arms as you come down to the floor with a brick. We're going to do some wrist work because I was thinking about Caitlin, her wrists. A thick brick is probably best. And you're going to need both of your balls, small balls, plus balls. Where did I put mine? There. In a tote. Start with them in a tote. So the first thing we're going to do is a forearm meltdown, is what Joe Miller calls it. And you're going to have the brick in front of you and put the back of your forearm, on the brick. Put the brick longwise, Kathy, in front of your arm, and then put your therapy balls on the brick, and then the arm in that little groove. So the back of your arm, you're rolling back and forth, all the way up to the elbow and all the way back to the wrist. And just do that a couple times. This should feel really good. I should have had you test your wrists beforehand, but I didn't. Maybe the other side I will. Back and forth. And you can moan if you want. And then the next thing you're going to do is put your other hand on top of the, keep the balls near the elbow. Put your other hand on top of that to just stabilize and then make wrist circles. So you're stabilizing the elbow and that back end of the forearm in the ball groove. And then you're just making wrist circles here. Reverse your circle. And slowly bring your arm up and take one ball out of the toes. The ball can be on the brick again. We're going to do thumb splits. So make an L with your thumb and put the ball, grasp it, but the ball is pressing into the brick, and then the thumb is at the top. Press in here, so you're compressing this thumb L, thumb shape, just pressing into that. Yep, press down, straight down. And then that's compression. And then you're going to contract also. Now pull the thumb and the finger towards each other in a contraction at the thumb. These are called thumb splits. You should feel it all the way up your arm, actually. It's make sure that the thumb is directly on top of the ball, Kathy. It's not to the side so much. Can you bring your arm up on top a little bit more? More like, yeah, I think it's more like that.
Okay, but with the thumb on top of the ball.
Impress. The next thing we're going to do, so in thumb splits, is actually not thumb splits, but it's a thumb pad squash. So you're going to put the ball at the base of the thumb pad, all the way down here. And then as if you're juicing an orange, you can put the other hand on top of it even. So on it's on top of the thumb. You put the ball right here and on the brick. So the ball goes on the brick. The hand goes here. The ball goes here. The ball goes on the brick. Now you're going to just press into it as if you're not. Don't use your fingers. It's not that. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. We'll see if this works. Okay. No, it has to be up more, I think, to see it. No, it has to be down more. Yeah, I have to be somewhere else. Can you guys see my brick? Oh, yeah, you can see it. Okay, so here you are here. You're pressing on this, and then like you're juicing an orange is what Jill says. Maybe this is not juicing an orange for you, but there you are, pressing on the thumb pad. And then after you've done that, maybe just circles, pressing. Then you're going to go to the next pad, along the palm, and you can go all over the palm. We may not have time to go all over the palm, but you can go now along the bottom of the palm here, and find any little spots that might adore your attention. And it can be anywhere now on the palm. I'm up by the fingers. Now I'm to the outside. Now I'm to the inside. You don't want to be so much in the middle of the palm, because the places that need your attention, I think, are on the outside of the palm. Let's switch sides and go to the thumb splits. So, oh, here I am, and I did something, I didn't really, that was, well, this side, we'll do this side. So here's thumb splits. You press, press, press. And then you contract. So now you're pulling the thumb and the finger towards each other. And then you start with the palm, juicing the palm. Starting at the thumb pad. And then you can work your way around the rest of the palm, the outer edges of the palm. Delicious, huh?
Yeah, it feels good.
Now, after we finish, now we're going to finish up here, and then before we do anything else, go ahead and see how it feels to for your wrist. So lean forward on your wrist. Diana showed me how she's actually doing a forward stretch on the wrist instead of some of the backward ones that we did on the floor. But just see if, who knows, it might make a difference on your wrists. And let me check the time here. 12, we're doing well.
With all pressure point at the feet too. Remember, we do it at feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Same pressure point.
Similar, yes. Okay, standing up. Standing up. And we're going to do, first of all, we're going to do the, I'm gonna do this one because I love this one. So I'm going to continue. Am I spotlighted for you guys? Yes. Okay. I'm going to do this one because I love it. And so thank you for letting me do it, Kathy.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're going to stand on the wall and then bring your arms up overhead. I need someone else to time this for me, but hold on. So, and then find it, and we're going to do it a couple times, and it's going to be 40 seconds. So find your overhead arms. Let's call this an overhead arm back bend. And I think I'm starting to love this because you put your arms, hopefully you can get your arms somewhere on the wall. It creates a little bit more torque for the spine than, for instance, the prone back extension, which I loved for a long time. Go ahead and come out, and we're going to go back up again for one more. Okay, everybody up? Oh, I'm only timing for 30. That's good. All good. I was timing before for 40. Okay, 30 is good. It just takes anywhere from 12 to 72 seconds for the osteocytes to kick in. So remember, the idea is to stand, put your arms overhead, press them on the wall, and press your chest out. Okay, that's enough of that. We're gonna do a balancing, but let's go ahead and do the, let's do the variation tree pose. Unless you want to do the regular one, but if I'm going to show you the variation, and that is this. Well, you can't see all of me. Rita, you're going to have to move. So one leg is here, right? Can everybody see me? Yes, yes. So this is a variation, you know, the tree variation. Anyone can do this without the chair, but otherwise here, up, and overhead. But the other versions are on the floor. So foot on the floor, and it doesn't matter, or up, just under the knee, and then, or here. And then we're going to try to stay for 30 seconds, but I'm doing the timing and the pose. So any of those variations, please. I'm going to do this one. Whoops. With my hip injury, I'm not very good at any of this anymore. And get very long. And remember the option is, on the other option, which I probably should do, is just on the chair. Let's go to the other side. Tree pose, one of the various alternatives to tree pose. For 30 seconds. Arms up, if you can get them up. Get tall, so reaching towards the sky. One of the reasons I'm beginning to favor this pose over the straight balancing, although the straight balancing pose with your knee coming forward also will, I'm going to come out of this, look at my list. I'm going to undo my pen, cancel the spotlight, and get Kathy, who's fixing her hair. We're going to do short foot. What I was going to say is you are still building bone, even if you aren't rotating your hip out. So, but I think the difference between the classic pose and tree pose, yoga tree pose, is that you are also building bone at the hip. Not only just at the femur, but at the socket, the acetabulum, which is also a place that can get very fragile and where fractures can occur. Short foot.
Oh.
Standing short foot. So short foot is a pose that actually is very helpful for the feet, for the arches along the foot. Okay, and so Caitlin says she did traditional tree pose next to a chair. The chair seat was next to her calf. I almost have to see that to know what you were doing, but obviously it's probably true. She might have flipped her chair around even. So just so you know, do the some of this is your own intuition about what will support you to do the pose. And if you start propriocepting what's happening in your body, then you can say, this is the way, my body wants me to do it. So go ahead and bring your toes a little closer together, big toes a little closer together. And Kathy and I always have this struggle.
Oh, I swear they're together there, but you keep, okay.
Yeah, well, what I suggest is that the outside edges of the feet are parallel. So that actually brings the toes close. Some people will actually think that they are pigeon, feel
oh, okay.
At this point. So you're going to start, and if it feels totally uncomfortable, you'll want to go wider. Or you could go narrower and see if that's more comfortable, in terms of the parallel feet, wider or narrower for the base. We're going to do the right foot first. Just lift your toes, spread your toes, drop them onto the ground, and press the toe pads, not the metatarsals, but the toe pads into the ground, and pause. and then release and switch sides. The left foot, lift the toes, spread the toes, drop the toe pads, drop the toes, press the toe pads, not the metatarsals, into the ground. And pause. And you should feel the arch, or the arch is working. Just know that the arch from the front to the back of the foot is working. Go to the other side. We'll do one more set. Lift. I didn't cue this one. Lift, spread, a drop, and press the toe pads into the floor. And the other side. Well, I didn't hold that long, very long, but you can do more holding in your own practice. Lift, spread, drop, hold. And just so you know, another way to think about aligning the foot is to have the heel of the foot directly behind the front of the foot. So that's another way to think of alignment. And actually helps with knees. Find your way onto the floor. I think the only thing we're going to have time for on prone is we're going to do a thoracic spine reset. So we're not going to do the back bends. We already did some back bends. So we're not going to do the back extension on the floor, but we are going to do close with the prone thoracic extension, which is kind of easy, but I think it's very profound. The arms are in a T. Look to the right.
Can you see I don't know if you can see hold on.
If you have a sensitive pubic bone, which I do, you can put a little washcloth or something under your pubic bone here for any of the prone poses. Look to the right leg comes up and over the left leg. You can move your hips as much as you want to accomplish that. And the only thing you don't move is the upper back and the chest and the shoulders, armpits, and arms. Come back. Other side, look left. Left leg comes up and over. And you can return and do it one more set. Look left, right leg, right, look right leg comes up and crosses over the left. This is sort of a nice counterpose to the back bending. And other side, look left leg comes up, goes back over the right one. And now go ahead, finish up, find your way onto your back for Shavasana, Yoga Nidra. Rolling over onto your back. You may want to put a couple of washcloths under your head. But one of the things Dr. Fishman was very concerned about was actually taking the head up too high, popping the head too high. So it has to be neutral as opposed to coming up. Anytime you flex any part of the spine towards the front of the spine, you're risking you're risking fractures if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia. So maybe put a blanket over your body, maybe towel over your eyes. I'm going to stop the video. Just starting to pay attention to your breath, breathing in and out, observing your abdomen as it rises and falls. And now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, spiritual heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, left knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Bring your awareness back to your legs and your body. Stretch your legs and bring your arms overhead. And stretch in both directions and wiggle your fingers and your toes. And hug your right knee to your chest and then your left. Both knees. Hugging to the chest and then rolling over towards the camera. And slowly bringing yourself up to seated, to your favorite seated position. Unmute yourself. I'm going to take Kathy away from the spotlight, and I'm going to put myself on gallery so I get to see everybody. I don't know whether I can't do that for you, but you could do it also. Oops, I got to take my picture off. I do want to ask, how would you like the wrist? Like the wrist stuff? Caitlin, what about the wrist stuff?
Oh, it was good. Thank you.
Oh, I thought of you.
I finally had to sit in the hero pose to do it. I couldn't do it otherwise.
Okay. And what pose did you have to sit in?
Hero pose on my knees.
On your knees. Oh, hero.
To get the
As opposed to a cross-legged pose. Right. Go ahead and bring your hands to your heart. Press them together for a little bit of shoulder work, just for fun. And then release. And lift your occipital ridge up toward the sky and nod it or roll it towards your nose. Nodding and bowing, honoring each other, noticing and acknowledging the light that is within each of us, and is all of us. And then we'll close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You.
Karen
Thank you.
and Colleen, it's nice to see you back.
Nice to be back.